Now, there's been a bunch of blockbuster games come out recently, and then a couple of little ones have kind of crawled through the gaps. And one of those games that came out recently is Extinction, a game made by Modus Games. It's a kind of a mid-range title, sitting in amongst a bunch of blockbusters. How does that bode with the game? Well, I brought Megan in to discuss exactly that. Megan, thank you for joining us. I guess Extinction's in a real tough spot.
It really is.
Coming out, it's in a tough spot.
It's been released in a really competitive landscape with God of War riding on its tails, and
Far Cry 2 weeks ago.
essentially with a price point of $100, you've got to be able to pick the apples of what you're going to invest your sweet hard-earned cash into. And unfortunately, Extinction really, I think, struggles at that price point.
And that is probably its biggest issue. The game itself, obviously, it's a weird kind of tale of, I mean, it's called Extinction, but have you figured out why it's called Extinction?
After a little bit of dabbling, essentially this is an arcadey style monster hack and slash sword game where you're essentially cutting off ogres' heads, and because they've overrun the city of Delorum, and you are a sentinel called Avil that's sent in to protect civilians. And they keep releasing out of this portal, and so it's your job to save everyone's lives, and it's Extinction because I guess you're going to make them all extinct.
They're going to die, or they're going to make you extinct.
Hey, but look, the ogre thing, I really couldn't join the dots with the title. It really lost me there. I really think they could have done something better, like Arg, like Buffy. I would have been happy with that.
Like, I guess that is the thing. The gameplay sounds pretty simple. Obviously, there's a pretty huge sense of scale when you're killing the giant ogres and all that kind of stuff. And running around town seems fun. But, I mean, even if they do that well, even if they play that well, it's still a really tough time. You can't, like, can you get away with full price for a game that seems like it's relatively simple?
Essentially, this game really plays to its strengths. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that gameplay really reflects that. It's a beautiful game. Looks like Fortnite, Overwatch a little bit.
Yeah, got that.
Beautiful, and every sword slash that you do is gorgeous. Really satisfying slaying those ogres' heads. Essentially, as you're jumping, and boy, do you jump high and far. It's incredible. I think that really makes it feel really floaty, and you know, when you are jumping up that ogre to get that final kill shot, you can slip and there's no traction, and it's kind of a bit glitchy. You get stuck in armpits and crotches. I don't really know what to tell you.
It's all right. I think the Melbourne transport system.
Wow, yeah.
That's all right. Anyway, sorry. Back to the review.
But yeah, essentially the gameplay is fun as you keep on playing. It validates you really, really regularly about giving you skill points to unlock more armor, faster dashing, jumping, everything like that, which is really fun. But nothing's that aesthetic, and you can't play as a girl.
Well, look, I guess that really does kind of sum it up. Is maybe check it out when it's like, you know, it's a little bit cheaper.
Oh,
but
absolutely, that's it. This game is really fun. There are 4 gameplay modes. There's a campaign that lasts for hours. It's literally like 12 hours long. And plus, there's online Extinction mode where it's kind of like hardcore, where if you die, you're dead, like forever. And then there's daily challenges where you can compare yourself to everyone else in the Extinction world, and other skirmish modes too, which are really fun if you have some mates that also have the game.
So it's not that it's necessarily a bad game. It's just that it's barely positioned and out at the wrong time. Is that fair to say?
100%. Definitely worth a shot.